I think what David said for me is very important. Kind of this idea, like about what he's writing about, what I'm photographing. This idea, kind of partnerships in trying to raise awareness. And I think that is specifically true with my work and what my sister Alana is doing with Generation Human Rights. It's a very interesting and very important motivating factor for me, in that the work that I've done in the past, from Bosnia to Afghanistan to Darfur, and work that I will most likely do in the future, has another home, has another place to go once it leaves sort of the pages of traditional media. My goal as a photographer is to raise awareness. My goal is to have my work be part of the conversation. And my goal is for that work to basically put a human face on numbers like 800,000 people killed in Rwanda, millions of refugees from Darfur. Sometimes when we have those numbers, they're so abstract that it's almost impossible to appreciate them. But through visual storytelling, things become real. You hear the voices, you see the images. Some of the work that you see here, like this young girl from Darfur, and some other work that I've done in the past, all of a sudden brings to a student a different realization. I think also the fact that this work is in color, work from the Bosnian genocide in Srebrenica, from Rwanda, from Darfur, 3 genocides that I've covered in my career, that it's in color, brings it to today. Students, when they study the main subject is the Holocaust, and they look at primarily grainy black and white photos, and they're like, oh, that's a long time ago, and I can't really register. That has nothing to do with me today. But when they look at this work, they're like, wait a minute, maybe I look like that person, or it's obviously it's in color, so it's happening now, and the relationship is very different. And this is incredibly important for me, in that this work is able to affect generation after generation to come, in that hope that there will be lessons learned, that things will be different, that the children that will be studying in the Telling History Project will, when they get to the position of power, whether it's simply walking into a voting booth or running for office or donating money or just having conversations and becoming an educated constituency, will have the power to make things different. We've all, as the generations that are responsible for Darfur and Bosnia and Rwanda, have to hope that the next generations coming will not allow these things to happen. And obviously, it's not going very well. We have Syria, obviously, in horrific conditions. We're watching Ukraine in slow motion, starting to enter kind of where Yugoslavia was 20 years ago. But that being said, there's really nothing else that we can do but try. And it's really at that level of education, of getting that next generation to understand the potential for what can go wrong and for the potential for what can go right, that things can hopefully be better for all of us. So I appreciate your support for this project. I think it's incredibly important, and it can really have impact that will affect not only the students in this country, but people around the world, because we all understand, especially as New Yorkers, that this world is very interconnected, and what happens in faraway places like Afghanistan can affect us here at home. Thank you very much.